Hi everyone! There is hardly a man on our planet who would say no to traveling and seeing all the amazing things in the world. Unfortunately, too often our aspirations exceed our possibilities. So instead of traveling, we have to go to work, study, do business, and realize that there is not enough time for something else. But thank God for the internet. Using the web, you can see our amazing world without ever leaving the comfort of your home. And this is exactly what we are going to do today. Get ready for the things that you have probably never seen before. Let's get it on. Pipeline blasting. You may think this footage is from the movie Tremors, or maybe it's some kind of a giant alien sandworm that landed on our planet and is now burrowing deep underground. It's not like that at all, although sometimes your imagination can go wild. In fact, what you see is a pipeline blasting, the most ordinary works carried out before construction. You may probably wonder, what's the point of this work? After all, the ground must be removed with special equipment, and after the explosion, it still remains where it was. In fact, the ground layers can have different strengths. Some layers are thin, so the land can be easily removed using excavators and bulldozers, but others are so thick that no equipment can help. This, however, does not mean that one cannot build something here. In this case, before using an excavator and bulldozer, the soil has to be loosened through a series of explosions. By the way, it is interesting that the workers do not use fire to light the fuse. Instead, a detonating fuse is laid along the direction of a future explosion. Vegetable orchestra. All kids have naturally playful mood. They can get into mischief 24/7. That is why, most likely, each of you at some point heard your parents say, "Do not play with your food." Something tells us that the heroes of our video have heard it perhaps too many times. But they obviously ignored their parents, bringing the game to the next level. Well, to be perfectly accurate, they don't play with the food, they play the food itself. What you see now is perhaps the only vegetable orchestra in the world. And yes, these guys really use vegetables instead of musical instruments. A one-of-a-kind band was born in Vienna, Austria. In 1998, when the guys came up with this idea, no one could even imagine what it would turn into. Today, these artists perform in various parts of the world and master new musical instruments like carrots, zucchini, pumpkin, tomatoes, peppers. Turns out that you can produce sounds from all these vegetables found on any market. There's one issue though, they have to make new instruments every concert. After the instrument is made, there are many leftovers, but these talented guys found a way out. They cook the soup from them, and after the concert, everyone is welcome to try it. Electric trucks. It is no secret that manufacturers are making increasingly more efforts to make their vehicles environmentally friendly. But could you ever wondered if trucks, very heavy and massive vehicles, can run on electricity too? Take a closer look at the screen, because now you will see the test strip for electric trucks and the vehicles themselves. The system is called e-Highway. So far it is used in just a couple of European countries. For example, in Germany, an e-Highway lane connects Frankfurt with the nearest industrial park. And in Sweden, electric trucks were tested in 2016. By the way, such lanes also benefit our environment. We save fossil fuel, thus reducing the emission of harmful substances into the atmosphere. Unusual tornado. You probably already know that there are quite many videos showing natural phenomena. That's because many of them are very rare, and people who manage to record them on camera can consider themselves lucky. We also have a natural phenomenon for you. A tornado is a very impressive sight. They can be observed only in a few regions of our planet, but a horizontal tornado is a most extraordinary thing to see. This phenomenon was observed several years ago by the residents of the Mexican town Rubio. Horizontal tornadoes are so rare that meteorologists have not yet assigned them any scientific name. And while you are looking at the quirks of nature, let us quickly remind you of one important thing. The people who filmed this put their lives at great risk, so please do not be like them. If you come across a similar phenomenon, do not even think of recording it on your camera. Seek shelter and hide. The oldest student. Some of our viewers still go to school, and some finished it a long time ago. In any case, we all have memories of this carefree time when we were kids. However, this resident of Nepal named Durj Kamai is somewhat different from the rest. This is because the man started attending school when he turned 59 years old. Yep, you heard it right. Durj Kamai is indeed the oldest student in the entire world. This video was shot in 2016, when he was 69 years old. Back then, he was in 10th grade. In the morning, this elderly man woke up, made breakfast, and then started his long journey. It took him an hour and 20 minutes to reach the school. However, Durj didn't mind the long road. The young age of his classmates also didn't bother him, because nothing can stop you if you really want to achieve something. When Durj was small, there was no school nearby, and education had almost no value for him. Now, with hindsight, he understands very well that each person must learn and hopes to inspire others. Twin fuselage plane. There are many amazing things in our list. Surely there are some of you who have already seen the things we have shown you today, but we are almost 100% sure you haven't seen this. Because this twin fuselage aircraft made its first flight in April of this year, just a couple of months ago. Stratolaunch Model 351 is an American carrier aircraft. That is, sometime in the future, after the tests, it will be acting as a flying launch pad for satellites and rockets. This aircraft is not the first one in history with the twin fuselage. However, it is still mind-blowing. What you see on the screen is the aircraft with the longest wingspan in the entire history of aviation. To be more precise, the plane is 117 meters wide, roughly the same as the height of the fourth tallest statue in the world, Ushiku Daibutsu in Japan. So far, the maximum speed of the aircraft is 304 kilometers per hour. However, it is not the limit, as commissioning is scheduled only for the next year. Skyscraper waterfall. Every year, tens of thousands of people go on trips to see the largest and most beautiful waterfalls of our planet. But the residents of Guiyang in China no longer need to go anywhere. The waterfall came to them. Well, actually, it was built there, right on top of the 121-meter skyscraper. The waterfall was opened place last summer and drew the attention of the entire world. This is the highest artificial waterfall ever built. The water falls from a height of 108 meters. It looks beautiful, but it is impossible to swim under it. First, it would be really painful. And second, it turned out that the waterfall is simply too expensive to operate. 1 minute requires $120 worth of electricity. Yep, $120 per minute, but one thing is for sure. The waterfall is truly one of a kind. In fact, it looks so unusual that when the building was put into operation, the locals literally overwhelmed the security services with complaints about an unprecedented flood. We find it hilarious. Cathedral made of bread. Once upon a time, when the Kingdom of Italy still existed, members of the royal family were welcomed with a huge celebration. This became a sort of tradition, but the residents of San Biagio faced one very unpleasant issue. The town was mostly inhabited by farmers who did not have money to arrange a grand reception. After giving it a thought, the residents decided to welcome the royal family with the only thing they had in every household: bread. The farmers used it to construct sumptuously decorated arches of triumph. Around the mid-18th century, when new rulers no longer demanded ornate displays of welcome, the people of San Biagio turned this into their custom. That's how a cathedral made of bread, pasta, and cereals became a symbol of Easter in the Sicilian town of San Biagio. People build every year. It takes the locals 3 months, but the resulting structure is a true work of art. And thankfully, today you no longer need to be a king or queen to see it with your own eyes. Paper sculptures. Our last story for today is about a Cuban-American sculptor, Felix Semper. You already know we will tell you about the paper sculptures. However, if we hadn't mentioned what these amazing sculptures are made of, you would never have guessed. That's because in a folded state, they are no different from any conventional sculptures.
Watch.
Most of Felix's life was somehow connected with paper, so no wonder he chose this material for his work. Many years ago, a man worked in a printing house, and it occurred to him that folding sheets into layers could help create amazing sculptures. It took him many years to turn this idea into reality. Today, Felix Semper is a renowned sculptor. His paper sculptures are his most recognized works. It takes at least a month and a half to create each such work of art, and we cannot even imagine how much patience is required to do this. If you live in America, go check one of his exhibitions. They're held on a regular basis.
Oh! Yay!
Well, this is it for today. See you soon.